Hi, and welcome to Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. Remember to like and subscribe to the podcast down that way, and if you hit the little alarm bell, it'll send you notifications.
When there's a new episode.
When there's a new episode, not just random notifications. Who knows? We don't know. We're not YouTube. Anyway, I'm Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And we are the team at Yarnia, and we are coming back with, I have no idea which episode this is. Isn't that bad? Nine.
Yeah, 9.
This is what happens when you go away on vacation and they do an episode without you and you watch it afterwards.
Jen.
No, it's totally fine. It was awesome because I was like, oh, hey, look, there's an episode of the podcast. Yay!
And I don't know what's in this one.
I don't know what's going on. This is awesome. There's a little bit of vacation re-entry still happening, even though it's been like a week. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening around town. We are, I just got back from vacation. Kathleen's about to go on vacation.
Tomorrow.
Amanda's come back from
work. Not vacation.
Not vacation.
A big work trip.
Yeah. She went to Italy, so
Was the food good at least?
For the day that I got out, yeah, it was really good.
But not at the hotel or anything?
It wasn't a hotel. It was a campus.
So it's like conference center food.
Oh, well.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
It wasn't awful.
I mean, you're
but
still
it
in
was a
Italy.
really good trip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
You could
felt
have been
like being
anywhere,
at
though.
college. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have been.
That's a shame.
That's a bummer. Anyway. So what's going on here is that we're in our last days of our summer sale for cotton, which runs till July 31st, which is a Wednesday. And
Exactly.
basically...
Very end of the month.
Very end of the month. All of our cottons, linens, plant-based fibers,
Cotton
and
linen blends.
Yep.
And also anything that's 100% silk.
Yes, 100%
All those good
silk.
summer things.
Yeah.
All 25% off, so you can get enough stuff to make your summer top, make a summer tee, or just
There's still
hoard.
plenty of heat.
Yes.
Tons.
I mean, the way
Tons.
the weather's been lately, you can wear summer things well into September. So
Oh, totally.
Oh, gosh.
Totally.
All right,
got some
totally.
time to knit or crochet and then
Yeah.
wear your item.
Yeah.
So
And that's all 25% off, so come get it before the sale ends. We would hate to
and also
miss it.
it's on what's in store. We're not doing special orders as part of this.
What's
We're
in store. Special
kinda
orders are separate.
continuing to move out our summer stuff and make room for the winter stuff that is making
We
its
have
way
a
to the
lot
store.
coming.
Yes,
It's
we
very
do.
exciting.
As a knitter, it's funny. I've seen on a bunch of people's Instagrams lately, talking about summer knitting, and it's like, but fall is not far behind, which is so true. I think.
So true.
I've always loved fall. It's always been my favorite season. But I think as a knitter, it's like, yeah, only a couple of months of heat, and then I can knit really woolly things again.
Then I'm back to
to the regular
actual
stuff.
sweaters and things I can do.
Serious
Yeah.
sweaters. Yeah.
I'm not prepared for today, but next time I've been thinking about my holiday gifts.
Oh, you're good.
And I've got like 4 things. I'm going to do 4 cowls.
Okay.
Well, that's cool.
So I need to get started on those.
You need to plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
impressed.
planned in my head, but not like.
I'm
with
impressed
my
you're
yarn
heading that in July. I am really bad, and it's like around October I'll start thinking about it, but I won't actually do anything until November, which is why my family is very used to getting things on the needles, like an entire sweater, say, with about 6 inches left to go, wrapped up on the needles. Happy Christmas, Mom.
Yeah.
Well, that's why one of my finished objects for today is my mom's Mother's Day shawl.
There you go.
So I don't think I'd started it. I think I showed her the kit on Mother's Day.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Well,
There you
that way
go.
she had veto power too. She didn't
That's
like
true.
that color combo. She could have switched it out.
She can say.
But she liked it.
I
so.
told my mom on Mother's Day that I found in Making magazine, like, what I was going to make her for Christmas. Happy Mother's Day. I planned your Christmas present.
Probably,
That's pretty solid.
I'm sure it's a significant Christmas present. So
Yeah. So there you go.
Last Mother's Day, not this past one, but the one before, I made my mom socks. My mom's allergic to wool, so she very rarely gets hand knit socks because she's not going to knit them out of wool. I'm not going to knit them for her out of wool, and I much prefer to knit from wool. But we had the Regia cotton Tutti Frutti sock, which was cotton with a little bit of stretch in it. So it was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. It's
On sale this month?
It's
That's right.
on sale. It's even on sale. And so I made them for her, and I did 2 at a time, but I stopped, like, it was Mother's Day, and I was like, okay, I have like 5 more rows. And then it's like, what am I doing? I don't even know how long her feet are. So I basically handed them to her on the needle, and it was like, try it on.
Let's see
and
how
then
much more I
did the
need to
toe
do.
decreases
Right.
while she was hanging out, like, I don't know, as my children were running around like banshees, as they tend to do. Finished the toes, did the Kitchener, and like sent her off on the way. I made her weave in the ends. 'Cause
Very nice.
Whatever, I'm not doing that.
There you go.
I was like, you're lucky you got socks.
Participation.
Participation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really bad with the last minute gift knitting.
Well,
I'm not big on making holiday gifts. I don't know. I'm a very selfish knitter. I really am. I freely admit it. I have been a longtime member of Selfish Knitters on Ravelry.
That's a
That
pretty
group.
good one.
Yeah,
That's pretty
I know
good.
I'm going to appreciate it, right?
I make a lot for my husband because he's bald, but he doesn't, and he always wants a hat. So that's quick. It's easy. And he's very particular about sweaters. So I'm like, you've got to start thinking about like what kind of sweater you want, what color, what am I willing to make you, because I'm not going to make you a fingering weight black sweater out of cotton because no.
That would just three bad directions all at once,
like,
right?
just buy one.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you just buy.
Like, pick something else. So he still has yet to do that. So get on it, Jonathan.
I've only ever made Gene one sweater, and he lost it.
Whoa!
He has no idea where it is.
And you're still married.
I know. It's a weird twist on the sweater.
No.
Oh my God, I would
He
kill
has
him.
you know what? Maybe as we are purging our house in
He'll
the
show
next
up.
6 months or whatever, it'll show up. I'm hoping. But
Oh my goodness.
I would. Oh no.
It was right around the time I made my Great Pumpkin sweater. It was Vogue Knitting, sometime in the late 80s, probably mid to late 80s.
Aw,
And
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Not okay.
I don't
Not
know.
okay, Gene.
Not okay. Find
He's
it.
such a sweetie, though.
I know,
but
he's such a
he feels
nice
terrible about
man.
it. Good, but
He should.
As you should.
as he should, right?
I warned
But
Jonathan.
I haven't made him too many things since then.
No.
I told Jonathan it's okay if he loses a couple of the hats because he's really bad with losing the hats, and I've got his pattern down that like I can knock
You
it
can
out
whip it
in
out.
like 2 days. It's not a problem. I did make him a 6.5 foot long sport or fingering weight 1x1 rib black and gray scarf.
Wow.
And I said
What?
that if he loses that, we're
Yeah,
done.
he's not good. Not good.
And he's like,
yeah.
maybe I just won't wear it. I'm like, that's fine.
Maybe that's a good approach for that item.
my
I'm
goodness.
okay
Wear
with
it in the
that.
house.
I'm all right with that. I'm totally fine with that. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. Priorities.
Actually, thinking about making things for other people, when I was doing our Ravelry show notes for the podcast, I caught up yesterday, and linking to your Marius sweater, I saw that there is a dog version. So I am thinking of doing it for Anna, because I've never
Aren't they
made...
beautiful?
Our previous dog was a Westie, who was a little old lady when we got her. She was about 6 or 8, and she lived for a long time with us. I made her a couple of dresses. I made her a little black dress with a ruffle skirt and then a little blue dress. Anna does not like those. Anna is not a lady. Anna is a very sassy little dog. And I'm thinking about making her a Marius, actually, because I think it would be so cute.
Cute in the Marius.
I think 2 of my cowls I'm going to do like tighter gaiters and take the Marius pattern and put them around them, because I've been
so
looking
pretty.
and I can't find like a colorwork pattern that I like. But those are for
So classic.
none of my holiday knitting is for my family because they've got stuff in the past. But this is for those 2 are for the 2 staff at school that are outside every morning all winter long with the
that's
kids
nice.
coming
They
in.
need
That's
it.
great.
So
That's a good gift.
and I thought about it last. So you're like, oh, you're so early. No, I thought about
You've
it
been
last
thinking
December.
about it since, well, still, you thought about it, and then you kind of put the thought aside.
But you're
You know.
remembering it now,
Yeah.
which is like and acting on it now. Where I would remember it last December after Christmas or whatever, and then not remember it again until December 1st, and be like,
Oops.
yeah, I really need to get on it.
Yeah.
Are you going to use the North Link?
Actually, I'm thinking about the Germantown. I'm pointing at it because it's
right behind the camera. So we can see it. You can't see it
yeah.
unless you come in.
And then Joji Locatelli came out with a new hipster cowl.
Ooh,
Like yesterday.
Oh, very
I haven't
nice.
seen it.
Yeah,
hadn't noticed it
it's
either.
really
Yeah.
nice.
Is it cute?
It's really cute. It's in worsted. I think it'll go fast. So I think that would
Yeah,
be
that sounds great.
some good gift
I
knits
like
too.
that.
So
Very good.
stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll see what Amanda's got in
Yeah.
store. She's actually good about sticking to her list. I'm not good about sticking to her list.
Yeah, my list moves around a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, It's very fluid. It's a very fluid list.
It was funny, actually. My list moves around so much. When I changed my travel project earlier in the week, I was freaking out because I couldn't find some yarn. I'm like, I know I have this yarn. I know it's in the house. Where is it? It's not in the fingering bucket. It's not in here. It's not in there. It's in my queued bucket. I have a queued bucket, which I started recently.
Good for you.
So isn't that a fun idea?
That is such a good idea.
So it's one now, like 1.5 buckets of things that are either in the queue and really like ready to go, or like extra yarn for a sweater that I'm making where I've started. So the rest of the Savage Heart yarn is in there. Another
nice.
sweater. So, but of course, it's like in the place where it should be, and I'm freaking out because I couldn't find it
because why would it be in the place where it should be?
That doesn't
nothing on my house is ever.
It's a new thing. It's a new thing that I forgot I created actually. So maybe now I'll remember I have a cute bucket.
That's a really smart idea. I like that idea. I might steal that idea.
Yeah, often, especially like I've bought the pattern. I mean, it's all ready to go. All I need to do is open the bucket and pick the thing, and so once I finally figured it out, I started on the project.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. So, all right, now I have ideas about how to organize things, but
do we have anything else on our new, or no, what is it?
We
around
do.
Town
Our happening around town. One of the things that's happening around town is that our part-timer Meg is going back to school in August, so we're going to have to say goodbye to her, but only for a little bit. She's coming back in December.
She'll be back over break.
But in the meantime, we are going to be looking for another part-timer, so if anybody is interested in working with us, we're really fun, I promise.
We have a lot of fun here.
I was going to say Megan, Beth, and Vivian, and we're a good team. We're a good team. Come join us.
Just email us at hello@shopyarnia.com and put resume or part-timer in the subject line. I tend to be the one to review those, but I'm going to be gone for the next week or so. So if you don't hear back right away, don't take it personally. I don't know how much time I'm going to spend on my computer when I'm in London. Hopefully not too much.
Hopefully not a lot.
So, but go ahead and, send us resumes. We're mainly looking for somebody for the second half of the day. So like 1 or 2 to 6 up to closing.
Yeah.
And occasional knit nights. Vivian usually covers knit night for us, which is 6 to 9 on Wednesdays. But, sometimes she can't make it. Sometimes we have schedule changes, whatever. So
right. We all sort of work around schedules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like 15 to 20 hours a week, with some flexibility in there, but primarily we're looking for end of the day. Yep. So, and occasional weekends when we can't. When our normal weekend, Amanda and Beth switch off, can't.
Yeah. Like last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
All gone.
It was actually fun. I like working on Saturday. I haven't worked on a Saturday in so long.
I like it.
Good.
Don't take it.
No, I'm not saying I want it. I'm just saying it was fun to do as a one-off. It was good. It was good. Actually, Jean and I, it was busy the first part of the time I was here, and then toward the end of the day, I mean, it was like 90 degrees on a summer Saturday, so
it was hot.
Not too busy. We put the insulation in the rest of the ceiling.
Oh wow!
Fantastic.
So hopefully
Nice.
it will actually it'll the air conditioner will be a little more effective.
Oh, good idea.
And maybe
Nice job.
heat in the winter. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jean.
There's
You're
always stuff
forgiven
going
for
on
the
here.
sweater thing now.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about that.
I would say 2/3.
You're doing penance toward the sweater thing.
Right.
Now.
You're eking away at your debt. Eventually. We'll see.
The floor counted towards that too.
Yeah, the floor. Well, and painting the ceiling tiles. So the painting the ceiling tiles was way more
I would
than.
say 75% of the debt, especially if it might still be in the house.
He probably should be forgiven. He really should. He should.
We'll forgive you. We won't give you a side eye in person. Just on video. It'll be okay.
There you go.
So I think that's it around town. Unless anybody has anything else,
It's mostly around store.
Mostly around store, really, rather than around
Montclair
town.
does get pretty quiet in the summer.
It does.
It does.
Well, we've also hit the late July. It's really hot and I realize this every year, and I really need to remember, like Amanda remembers, next year, that this is the time where my hair is way too long, and my hairdresser is on vacation, so it's up. Because I'm gonna die of heat. But I do have a finished object.
Let's see.
I'm very excited. So this is
beautiful. I love it.
After all of my talk about how I am not a mohair kind of girl, which I'm still not really a mohair kind of girl. I saw the Tin Can Knits Love Note sweater, which is fingering held alongside lace weight silk mohair combo, so like a drizzle. I used knitted wit fairy floss, which I freaking loved, and Bal La Jolla fingering, and it's held double.
So fun.
It's fingering held with the mohair, and it is top down. I'm gonna hold it a little closer. Finished blocking it. It took me a week and a half. It would have taken me probably a week had I not started it literally on vacation and then gotten real distracted with not doing anything when I was on vacation. So I got to, I think, almost all the way through the lace on vacation, which had I actually like focused, I would have completely finished it, because I did the body and the sleeves in like 3 days. It's on a size, it's supposed to be on a size 10 needle. I went down to a size 9 because I'm a loose knitter. And I was also playing yarn chicken, like hardcore yarn chicken.
Really?
Like hardcore. I have none of the fingering left.
Wow.
None.
Wow.
I have the lace weight left. I used 2 skeins of the fingering and 2 skeins of the lace. I made a slightly larger size than I would have normally, because I really listened to the pattern description in terms of the ease, and they had Aimee from La Bien Aimee modeling it, and I was like, she looked so cute in that, which is probably 90% of the reason I did it. I was like, oh, she's adorable. And so I was like, you know what? I do like the way it hangs on her. She and I are apparently about the same size, like, because I've looked at the sizing thing. So I was like, all right, this will work. So I made the slightly larger size. I ended up ripping out, I had done a Jenny's bind off, surprisingly stretchy bind off on the bottom. I ended up ripping that out so I could finish the sleeves.
Wow.
I had 2 inches of the fingering left. 2 inches. I had to join in a separate piece. I had scrounged around in my bag to finish the bind off on the sleeves, and they're about 2 inches shorter than they should be. But I think it looks cute.
But you did it.
So wait, here, I'll try it on. So Amanda will do her magic.
So pretty.
Here's how it is. It's super cropped, super drapey. It's got
So
a little bit of
cute.
the high-low.
I love this.
But
This
I
is so
really
adorable.
love...
Look at that.
Adorable.
I really love how it hits. I added a couple of short rows in the back.
Oh, it doesn't have short rows in the back?
It doesn't normally, but the pattern is written really interestingly, where they have you cast on, provisional cast on, and then go like 10 rows and then go into the lace. So you come back at the end, undo the provisional, and then you can do however many decreases you want to adjust the neckline easily.
Oh,
Really?
Very nice.
So really clever, really well. I mean, Tin Can Knits, always well written.
Yeah,
I love their
very
patterns.
well thought out. Yeah.
Wide range of sizes,
Mm-hmm.
from little kid to big kid. They have little kid versions of this.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Cute.
Oh my gosh.
So cute.
Abby would look so cute in
She would
that.
look so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the cropped version. You can do it longer. You can do it without the high-low hem. I threw in a little bit of short rows, and I only did one of the decreases because I like a scooped neck. I don't like it too tight.
That looks nice.
Too tight makes me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this when we're in podcast and I start planning another project.
I know. And these 2 colors, I think, look great. It's
They
the
look
Bob
They do.
April 19 colorway, and it's the Fairy Floss Watery Tart, which I
Nice.
love.
Very complimentary.
But yeah, I feel like I'm a puffy little kid.
Looks so
But yeah, it's, I know, it's like you just want to pat. It was so
your shoulder.
nice. And I had to like rip out a little bit especially when I was doing the sleeves.
Oh, the lace makes hearts.
It makes hearts, that's why it's love note.
Right.
I didn't see that before you put it on.
So
And the lace is super easy.
That's really cute. Oh, I love
It's
it.
charted and
Oh, I
written
love
out.
it. That's so cute.
It's super cute.
I'm gonna take a picture and pop it in so you can see like the detail
Yeah.
of this lace. It's really nice.
And it took no time. I was really pleased. I was like, oh wait, crop sweaters, they don't take any time. I may need to and will be. You'll hear more about it in a minute. Doing more. So do you guys have any finished?
I do not.
Got nothing.
I had a sweater on a 4 last week. Okay, give me a break.
Yeah.
I know you had a lot.
I have my Tegna.
Yay!
So happy.
Speaking of summer sweaters, look at that
really
lace.
happy with it.
Oh, I love it.
I did it
Kathleen.
pretty much. Thank you. I'm so happy.
Awesome block. That was
Yeah,
last time
I knew.
So
I knew
great
it would walk
blocks.
out nicely. I am actually planning my next one already. I'm gonna do it in one of the Ba solid colors. I want to look through when we do our next order from them and pick
That's
out
gonna
which
be really pretty.
color, because I love it. I do love it in the speckle.
I love
but I
it
think
in
the
the
lace
speckle.
is so pretty and will look even.
Yeah.
You'd see it even better in a solid.
Is that that's dirty
And it
martini?
has like a.
This is Dirty Martini, yeah. And actually, one thing I did yesterday was put together a few kits.
Ooh.
We have, if you want to do a Tegna, and I did a combo of the extra large and extra large size, and I did it, I had about a yard left of 3 skeins. So this is the
Week of
Dirty
yarn
Martini
chicken?
kit. Yeah, we're into yarn chicken here at Yarnia. Dirty Martini kit, beach glass is another one that's really similar.
Oh, I
That's
love
nice.
beach glass.
And then Cityscape, if you like.
I
the
love
Oh,
Cityscape.
Cityscape is so pretty.
That's really pretty. It's
Good.
got
It's gray with a little turquoise.
little gold and blue, gold and turquoise. So we've got enough if somebody else is inspired to make one soon.
It's beautiful in the bar.
I love the Ba La Jolla. It's really
It's really
such a nice yarn to work with. It's nice to wear. I did it pretty much as specified. I always do gauge swatches, especially for sweaters. I did a gauge swatch. It didn't grow. The swatch didn't grow at all widthwise. It grew like 10% lengthwise. But because the sweater, and I had a feeling it would, because the sweater is heavier, it grew about 15% lengthwise. I wanted it to be a little long, but it's even a little bit longer than I wanted. So when I, do it again, I will probably make it a little bit shorter. I took good notes about what I did, you know, the length I worked to and everything.
The Ba La Jolla is superwash, right?
Yes, it is. So you can always throw it in the dryer.
I was going to say,
100% merino superwash.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've done that with superwash sweaters that have grown just a little bit too long. I think I've mentioned this before. I mean, keep an eye on it, but like dry it until it's, or lay it flat to dry until it's almost completely dry, and then throw it in the dryer for like 5 minutes, like keeping an eye on it.
Yeah.
But it'll really spring back.
Yeah. Definitely. The only real modification I made was because there's twisted rib in the lace. I did twisted rib for the sleeve cuffs, which
I like
I
the
think is
twisted rib
nice.
on the sleeves.
Yeah, I think I might make them a tiny bit shorter. I don't know. I'll play around with it, but I'm really happy. I'm happy to be able to wear it.
Yeah.
It's really
So,
cute.
and this is coming to London with me because it's going to be in the 70s there, and I can. It's
Nice.
perfect weather for wearing it.
That is
London.
perfect.
Yeah,
That is fantastic.
Look at me, I'm so left out. Y'all are wearing sweaters today.
She was wearing, okay, so I saw the
heard last
contrast,
time.
the Marius,
Marius,
like,
yeah.
in the middle, I'm sitting there in a sleeveless, like, tank top. Actually, probably the exact shirt that I was wearing before. Being like, I'm hot, I'm dying, oh, and Amanda's like, I feel so warm and cozy. And I'm like, y'all are crazy.
Yeah. I have one more finished object,
Yes.
which this I showed as a work in progress or
Yeah.
on a previous one.
Last podcast.
Yeah, so this is one of the KFI shawl kits. This is
The
the present I was
Indulgence Minis.
Mhm.
Yeah.
my Mother's Day
feel how
present.
this
This
looks.
So
is really nice.
I'll be able to. It's not blocked yet. It's just off my needles yesterday. Woven ends at Circle this morning.
Lovely.
So yeah, I will block it, and I really do like the minor change that I made doing the multi in just stockinette and
Yeah.
keeping the eyelet pattern to the solids. I think that's a fun little
It's
twist
nice
on
interest.
it. Yeah,
It's really
Yeah.
nice interest.
and definitely a little easier on the wrist than all those eyelets.
Yeah. Adults can get into it.
So that
But
was
it
that.
looks so
I like it.
beautiful.
And what a good size.
Yeah, it's a
right?
nice
This is a
size. She
really
doesn't
nice
like things too
drapey
big, but
size.
it's definitely not small either.
And
Yeah.
you just used all the yarn of each.
Yeah.
Mini?
Yep.
You
Yep.
work until the yarn's out, switch colors.
Yep. Exactly. And I ended. I ended a row.
Sure,
I
yeah,
kept
of
track
course.
as I kept track with my scale. I always have my yarn scale / food scale handy when I'm working. Try to
That's
get an
a good
idea
idea.
of how much
So-
yarn I have left.
You'd like do a row. Or you'd weigh it,
Weigh
do a
it,
row.
weigh it
You're
again.
getting toward the end, and then
Yeah.
subtract to
Right.
weigh out how much yarn you use in a
Yeah.
row.
So I knew I wanted to do like 3 garter ridges, so I was using about a gram per row at that point. So when I had 7.5, I basically worked 5 more rows and then did the bind off, and I still
That's
had a little bit of
perfect.
yarn left.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It looks great.
And the bind off takes what, like 2 rows of yarn worth, or
it really doesn't,
just one.
because
Just
yeah,
one?
it's. I mean, especially if you bind off loosely, it'll take a little bit more than one. Like if you intend
right.
to make your stitches a little bigger. But I have noticed that a lot of patterns assume that you're going to need more than that. But if you're doing a straight bind off where you do the first stitch and you just pass one over the other, it really is the same as one row.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
which makes
But it is so funny how many patterns say, make sure you leave enough for your bind off. Like you're in.
I think if you get burned once, then you're never going to get burned. And the Jenny's surprisingly stretchy. That one used up twice as much.
2 to 2.5 even. I remember that one. You put a lot of extra yarn.
You put a lot. That's why it's surprisingly stretchy.
Exactly.
That's also why I was like, well, all spells. I'll unpick that off and use that yarn.
I got a lot of yarn stored in there.
A lot of yarn in there. Like it's fine. That's my backup.
Plans.
That's my backup. This is awesome. I love this.
Yeah,
this is
so
such a great
I'm
size.
excited. Next time I see my mom, she'll have her Mother's Day present.
Yeah,
Better late than never.
Better late than never.
Yeah, she's one of the people I will knit for. So.
All right. Well, we also have stuff on the needles.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys have your Foyer Sweaters, and I have a Foyer whip.
Let's see your whip.
Yeah,
All right. So I started this. So I think I've talked about it. I don't think I've shared it on the podcast before. But while I was doing inventory last January, I noticed we still had one of a couple of the months of February, March, April, May, and June color of the month
Of 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
And I think we still might have 1 or 2 of those, but I took the last ones. I figured if it had been on the shelf for a year and everybody had opportunity, then it's not.
Now it's open.
Now it's open season for me. But so these are the colors. This is February.
So pretty.
I'm very happy.
March. There's not that much of that left. April. Right,
Love
so it's
that
getting
one.
a little
I remember
bluer.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a little bit of purple in it.
February, March, April, May has a little pink in it.
That was the cotton candy one.
Yes. And then June.
Fun.
Right? So I've had these in my stash for, since January. Because I did, I guess, the Fade shawl, which I'll show sometime. But that was like eternal. I didn't really want to do a Find Your Fade. So I had 5. They were sitting around. I was going to do a fade with it eventually. Then I found the Stephen West Marled Triangle Fade, which instead of knitting it on like a 5, which you normally knit fingering shawls on a 4 or 5 or something like that, you knit it on an 8 because it's marled and you're doing 2 strands at a time. Yay!
So
that
much
it's
quicker.
Fast.
So much quicker.
So I started this while I was on my business trip to TNA in Arizona.
Yes.
And
So
I'm
in June.
Yeah, in June, but I haven't really worked on it much since then, as I've been on other trips and done other projects. Because it sort of takes a lot of space to do 3. So it starts in the center here and then builds outward. And first you're holding 2 strands of the first color together, and then you put in one strand of the second color and hold it with one of the first. And then I made a little modification and held 2 strands of the second color together before adding in 1 strand of the third color here. So mine's a little bit more gradual fade than in the pattern, but I love it. It's so nice. And it's just, it's a pretty simple pattern, right? It's just going to grow into a triangle like that.
Yeah.
And then it has a brioche, sort of a rib brioche border on the bottom. But yeah, this is going to be like a huge,
gorgeous.
So do you wind every ball into 2 even halves, or what do you do with it? Or do you just work from both ends?
I work from both ends. Yeah. Inside and outside. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying this, and you'll see it grow.
It's going to be big because you're on color. Okay, so you have color 1 and color 1, color 1 and color 2, color 2 and color 2.
And I just started
color 2 and color 3.
Yep.
So you'll have 2 and 3, 3 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 4, 4 and 5,
and then
5 and 5.
And the brioche is 5 and 5, or maybe 4 and 5. I'll start.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
going to
be using a lot by that.
Awesome and like squishy.
Yes, it's nice and heavy, which I sort of like.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
It's going to be a cozy one.
So I love this.
I
So
love it.
that's the thing with Ba's color of the month, and you use the April from this year, right?
April 19,
Yeah.
I think.
So yeah, the colors flow really nicely from one to another. So if there's one in particular that you like and you like doing fades or you're thinking about a fade, right, you can pick one and then the
Kind of
adjacent
go on
ones.
either side.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
Those are
also
great
some
fun.
of their regular colorways too, like, will really blend beautifully.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Which is really impressive. And I was holding the watery tart because I knew I wanted to use the watery tart silk mohair, and I was looking around the store and I was like, oh, this one.
Yeah.
So also don't be afraid, especially in something
Yeah,
like
to
this
mix
or like
brands.
this, mix brands.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Because you can find so many complementary things. But yeah, I love the like just all of the months together.
Yeah.
Yeah, very fun.
Well, like I said, I look at these, and there's a lot of things that come in. You can't knit everything. There's a lot of things that
Right.
come into the store that I just like. I love, but I don't have time to knit. And you guys end up snatching it up, which is fantastic.
Good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, come raid my stash. But these, I'm happy that I'm gonna have a project with them.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Very fun. Very nice. Jen, what do you have on the needles?
What I have on the needles, I have a couple of things. So I have, first we just semi-wrapped up our Campside cardigan class. Something fell. I don't know what it is.
We'll find out.
We'll figure it out in a
Half an
minute.
hour.
Maybe it may well have very been in a bag, but we'll see. So this is the Campside cardigan from Alicia Plummer, which is a top-down cardigan and kind of looks like a jumbled mess right now because
You're so close to done.
I am so
Oh,
close
yeah.
to done. I have the front edging ribbing.
Yeah.
We
You
picked
finished
up.
this today.
Yeah, I could. I almost finished it last night. We picked up the stitches in our last class.
Really?
With the ratio.
Your class is picking up stitches for the collar?
Yeah. Are you behind?
Yes, I'm behind. I'm still working on my sleeve.
If it makes you feel any better, they were also a lot of folks were also working on their sleeves, including me. I was binding off that morning.
It does make me feel better.
Because I hadn't worked on this at all when I was on vacation. This is for my mom because it's cotton and linen.
That's very nice.
And you can see a little bit better on the back, the eyelets. It's not blocked. When it's blocked, it'll drape a little bit
it'll look
nicer. So it's almost done.
And
And then I'm going to do, so the white right here, if you can see, that is where I put the stitches on hold when I divided the yoke. So top down, you cast on for the yoke, you do your increases, and then you abandon the sleeve stitches on holders, and then work the body, and then you come back and do the sleeves. So this is my abandon the stitches, abandon the sleeves on holders. I leave the holder in when I pick it up. And that's so if I adjust the sleeve length, or if I find it's too big, or if it's too narrow and I need to rip back, I can just take my needle out and rip back without having to worry about losing any stitches on the yoke.
Body.
And it's peace of mind. Plus, when you're measuring the sleeve, it says,
Yeah, it's
X
nice
amount.
to have a real solid point to measure from. You're always measuring from the same spot.
Exactly. It says X amount from the underarm, and sometimes it's harder to measure that. And so this I can measure from any point here to here, right? So like I have a nice clear line. I can lay it flat. I can measure it out. I don't have to sit there and figure out which row did I actually pick up stitches on. So especially if you're doing sleeves 2 at a time, especially if you're doing sleeves 1 at a time and you need to really measure or really count your rows, this is really helpful. I did these 2 at a time. I adjusted the rate of decrease because this is cotton and linen and will stretch out a little bit. So I made it a slightly tighter rate of decrease and then so it's a little bit snugger fit right here. And longer sleeves because my mom likes them long.
Nice.
Cool. So we have.
Maybe I'll have mine done next time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna meet one more time for any kind of roundup of anything. where it's like, who has questions, who needs to, who wants to be shown a 2-stitch I-cord bind-on for the edging.
Oh,
That's what I'm going to be doing.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is almost done. It is like 350 stitches for the edging, so it's taking a while to do a row. And I threw in some
like
short
this
rows on the
fabric.
edging. 'Cause,
oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
again, I always throw in short rows. That's why I have markers in it. From the neck cast on. These are the cast on stitches, so I did a couple of short rows in there.
That makes
Just
sense.
to bring it up a little bit, because I hate when sweaters pull back and I'm always like, which is why I did it on this too. So I have this on the needles, and then I'm talking about crop sweaters, because now they go really quickly. And I 100% blame Beth for this, Beth who is in the store on weekends, because she has made 2 Soldotnas. And now I'm going to make a Soldotna.
I just bought that pattern.
And I was super ambitious and thinking like, I'll bring this on vacation and work on both of them and get them both done. Who am I kidding? But I've gone back and forth on the color picking for a while, and I think I finally settled.
I love this.
Originally,
I love
this is knitted wet.
Gates of the Arctic?
Gates of the Arctic or Great Smoky Mountain, I can't remember
I
which.
think it's Gates.
That's Gates.
This is Gates of the Arctic. This is DK. And I knew I wanted to do this as like the body. And then I was thinking, this matte tosh would be super pretty with it. And then I had an orange, I had like a hot green, like a citron green, and I was like, I don't love the way, I did like a swatch of the color work and I didn't love the way it was working out, so I ripped it all out. But this raspberry milkshake, which I also used in my Camaro,
Yep.
knitted with.
Yeah,
this is
it's the right
DK.
pop. It's so good with those colors.
It's the right pop. But that wasn't quite working with this, so then I had some Mad Tosh
I
in
love
my
that
stash,
with it.
which hopefully I have enough of.
I really love that.
And then I
Goes
couldn't
with
find a nice light blue, so I went with the Allegria, which I think
The
this
Stratus?
is the
Oxygen
Stratus
or-
or Oxygen. It's the one that you did Charlie's out of.
I did Stratus.
You did Stratus.
That might be Oxygen.
I think this is Oxygen.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, it
I
is.
just sold
This-
somebody
The
yesterday.
Stratus is like more powder blue.
Is
Powder
even
blue.
paler. Yeah.
But I think this is my colorway.
Love
That's
it. Love it.
fantastic. I love it.
And I'm using the Allegria. I'm
I'll
going
take
to
a
use
picture
it.
of this up close.
Yeah.
You can see.
I'm going to use this held double because that'll make a DK weight.
Mhm. Good idea.
And because I was looking and I didn't find another blue that I loved, and I was like, oh, I think I want this. And yeah.
That's
Very
perfect.
nice.
I
Very,
love it.
very nice.
Many people, including random people who just walked in, weighed in on this decision because
I love it.
I couldn't
Yeah.
make it. So hopefully I'm going to start that. I'm going to try to finish the Alicia Plummer, and then I'm going to start this. And we'll see how fast I can do it.
Nice.
Cool.
Cross your fingers.
All right.
What do you have on the
Is this
needles?
like an A-whip, almost whip? Or
This is an almost
that's,
whip.
That's an almost
This
whip.
is, I have the needles
A-whip, I like
pulled,
that.
a whip in my head.
but it's actually the needles. But this is
There you go. Well, that's a
So
good
there we
reason
go.
to have not started it today. So I have an inherited whip.
Ooh.
There you go.
Because I finished that one sweater for Haley that I can't show yet. But she had one that this was her birthday present, I think from right after we opened the store. She asked for enough Franca for a sweater. Franca.
Oh.
So
Gosh,
this
that feels
is-
like a cloud.
This
It really
is
does. This is Franca in
beautiful.
natural, which she
Wow.
did, up to the armholes and did most of the back
That's
actually,
awesome,
or
Haley.
most of the front. She does knit
Yeah.
sometimes. She's mainly a crochet girl, but she does knit.
This
She
is
knows how to knit.
beautiful.
But she's kind of looking at all the things she wants to do before she goes away to school, and she said, "Mom,
She
do you
needs
think
this in
you would
Montreal."
finish this sweater
she
for
is.
me?"
She's gonna need
And
this.
I've been on her case about the fact that this isn't done, so I said, yes, I will
Oh.
happily finish the sweater for you.
So
And
what's
you
the
don't
pattern
have-
for this?
You don't have much left to go. I'm sorry.
No, I finished. It's funny. We turned on Wimbledon right at the end of the fourth set in the men's championship the other day, and I was really glued to the TV. But I, figured out where I was, worked up to the point of starting the right shoulder, and did that. This pattern is called Alpine Cable Pullover by Two of Wands. I will say it's charted and written.
Great.
The charts are a little
Love it.
difficult to read. I've actually had to enhance them a bit
Oh. I see
because
what you
they're
mean.
a little non-standard. And also
They're a little thin.
we played around with the cable on this is different. I have in my Ravelry projects some tests I did for this cable. She wanted something that really looked like a basket weave, so this
That's
was a
beautiful.
cable
It's
that
really
I charted
pretty.
and whatever. So we
Great.
used that. So
That's a
yeah,
good
so
idea.
basically it's finish the left shoulder now, finish the back up to that point, and actually I was going back and forth. I liked the way the shoulder is with 3-needle bind off on this, but I think for stability I probably should actually bind it off.
I think
this.
a
What do you
3-needle
think?
bind off is more flexible, but enough stable enough for a shoulder. I feel like the problem when you bind off and then seam it together
It makes,
is that
especially with something this heavy, it's gonna make a lump.
it's
right?
going to make it really bulky.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So I'm back. It's funny. I had
Yeah.
almost talked myself back into doing binding off this morning, and I wanted to get your point
Yeah,
of view. So
I think
that
it
is
makes
a good
it.
point.
It's going to make it too bulky, and you're going to put a lot of stress on the seam.
Yeah. Yeah.
The yarn that you use to seam.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a 3-needle bind off, you have that extra stability, even though it's flexible, because you have essentially 2 strands instead of 1.
Mm-hmm.
When you're seaming, you only have 1 strand that's really
Right.
linking the 2
Mhm.
together. But when you're doing the 3-needle bind off, you have the 2
You have both
strands
sides
that
of the
make
stitch.
both sides
Yeah.
of the stitch.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Plus, I'm really lazy and I don't love seaming in the same
Well, also
way.
with matching up cables and everything, I
Oh,
feel like
it's
it's much
gonna be
easier
a
with the
pain in
3-needle
the
bind
neck.
Yeah,
off. So you
that's
just
true.
literally go stitch for stitch,
Just
and
go
then it
stitch
matches.
for stitch.
Okay. Decision made. Thank you.
Yay!
So
you
that
go.
is one. That will, and there's not that much. I mean, it's
Amanda's going to
finished
steal
that.
it from me.
Yeah.
It's so
Careful,
fun. It
Haley.
Sorry,
really-
Haley.
Sorry.
It disappeared. I don't know.
How many skeins of Franca is this?
I think it's got 3 in it now, and I'm definitely going to use a 4th, maybe part of a 5th for
And
the
that's a
second
small,
sleeve.
right?
Fun.
And this is the small size, yeah.
That's
it is a little
fun.
oversized. It comes down, it's definitely well down on her hips. I think she originally wanted it a little more cropped, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's delightful.
We should,
thank you. I'm really happy with
yeah,
it.
we should have a parade of bulky sweaters. There was a
Ooh.
chill sweater in Vogue Knitting
Yes,
Really?
yes,
last
I remember.
winter
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
I loved.
I liked that.
It was
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that,
Ooh.
I mean, a chill sweater would take me a weekend.
Yeah,
Oh, if
for
that.
sure. Mhm.
I mean, that goes
So-
so quickly. Oh
So-
man, you're going from big, chunky
to
to
So this is my travel project. I went back and forth a couple of times on what I was going to do. I want something really portable. I want something that I
Yeah.
actually might, make a lot of progress on in a week, 8 days. And I realized this morning I saw on, I guess, just popped up on my calendar, it happens to be Piper-Nell's birthday today.
happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
Piper Nell.
Not the day that you're seeing this.
The day
You'll get
the
this
day
like
we're
a week
recording.
late. That's
So-
okay. Just
so,
know we love you.
I am finally doing Mitered Nova.
Yay!
by Shanel, which has been in my queue forever. So, and I'm using the Kingston, which Amanda got
Ooh,
at
so
Indian Tangle for me, which I love, the La Vienne May. And Ancient Orts Mama's Retro Kitchen.
Nice.
Oh,
So
I like that one.
I love the way these
Beautiful.
work together. It
Those are
has
really
just, just that little bit of green. I think it's going to be fun. So, yay, I'm finally going to get to do Mitered Nova.
Nice.
Mitered
So-
Nova was such a fun knit.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
And
I
I
did
think
that
it's-
too.
Yeah,
I
and you
have
guys
to.
both tested it, I think, right? When
I
it
didn't
was
test
in
it.
development.
I tested it.
Uh-huh.
And
You
it
did
was
it shortly after,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
it was
yeah.
super fun and a very addictive knit. Like you
Back
just
when
want
I-
to keep going.
First joined the Montclair Knitting Circle, Jen inspired all my knits. 'Cause I did Mitered Nova after you did Mitered Nova. I did the Waiting for Rain
I love the waiting for
by
rain.
Sylvia McFadden.
Oh,
I still have that in my queue,
Waiting for
actually.
Rain.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
Waiting
Yeah.
for rain.
So, yeah. And then
Yay.
I learned how to make up my own line.
I mean, you also didn't make everything in teal, which I did. So,
My Waiting for Rain was
you're waiting.
teal.
Yeah, but you also have like hot pink in that, right?
It was like a speckle. It's a red
speckle.
and black and
red
teal.
and black and teal.
So yeah, so as of a couple hours ago, I can say that this is a whip. I have cast on, and
Nice.
we'll see
You
how
have
far I
cast
get
on.
on my trip. And I am bringing one other project, a hat, a mohair and fingering held double. So
Nice.
yeah, just have another project,
Just
just
for
in
fun.
case, for whatever reason, I
Yeah.
run into problems.
I-
Bringing
I-
extra needles in my checked bag too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couple of things that are almost ready to go, including some stuff that's samples for store. So like, there's the Calborn Woolens
Yeah, you got a few
set
things
that
that you
I
brought
gotta
back from
like
TNA.
get cracking on.
Mhm.
That once I start this, and then I'll go back to multiple projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, last podcast we talked about travel knitting because I was about to leave for Italy, and I said I was going to crochet a project.
That's right. Yeah, what happened to that?
I remembered, like, the night before I left that I had said I was going to test knit a sweater.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and that the due date for the test knit was July 17th.
Okay. So
So I had to say, like, okay, I have to do this because I committed to do it. Yeah, so I took off my needle tips. I put them in actually with my chargers, like I have a bag of like all my phone and all this chargers. And yes, I put it in the bag of that. And then, everything was fine.
Good.
And I even knit on the plane, back and forth, and nobody cared, thank goodness. Yay. So successfully, I
what do you know?
I have a almost finished sweater.
Ooh.
So pretty.
So it's a test knit.
It's a test knit, and I can't show you the finished project, but I can show you how much I knit.
It's really pretty. I've seen it.
And I love the combination of yarn and pattern. I think it's really pretty.
And I'll show you I can put some detailed shots up. So I'll put some detailed shots up. It's really pretty. But I was going back and forth. So I came in. Let's see. I think literally the day that I left. And I was thinking first I was going to use the Alpaca Soft, Rowan Alpaca Soft DK, because this is a sweater for Charlie. And Charlie's a year old. It's in a DK knit on size 4s, so it's a really tight knit. It's cabled all over pattern. So I was going to use the Alpaca Soft, but then I saw the Harriet up on the top shelf. And
I love that color too.
Yeah,
it's
I love this color so much.
It's so pretty.
And I went back and this is Condor Valley in the Harriet. This is 100% alpaca. Yes, I'm going to put a 1-year-old in a 100% alpaca sweater.
She has a lot of faith in her children.
No, it's going to get dirty and I'll clean it. I mean, it's it's natural fibers.
Yeah.
You can wash it.
That's
Not
true. You
like-
absolutely can wash it.
Yeah.
Not in the washing
you
machine.
can do it.
Yes.
Yep, you're right.
And it's
think my
only
children are just
going to be this
destroyers.
big. So, whatever. He's not climbing trees yet or anything, so.
That is an excellent point. He's still little enough that you can like
Yes, yeah. it'll be
corner
fine.
him.
No worries.
He'll just get food on it and whatever.
Oh, that's fine.
But anyway, so I loved this color so much, and I was sort of wondering, is alpaca going to work for a sweater with cables? Is that like, is it going to grow? It's not going to behave the same. The sample for the sweater was knit in superwash wool, right? And a really round plied superwash wool, so the cables popped really nicely, which is why I was going to use the Alpaca Soft DK, because that has some sort of similar qualities.
Right.
But actually, like this knitted wet would be a very
that would be
similar.
great.
Yeah, 'cause very round.
Yes.
3-ply yarn.
Yep. But I love this color.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. And alpaca does tend to grow, but I figured, A, the cables are going to give it a little more structure.
Yes.
B, knitting a DK on a 4.
Yeah. It's
That would
It's
give
going
it
to
a
give it a lot
lot
more
more
structure.
structure.
Yeah.
Right. So I did it. I think it's going to be just fine. So you will see little pictures of little Charlie in this sweater. I will put a detailed shot in here so you can see what it looks like. But it was really interesting the way that this yarn makes the cables look different than that round superwash fiber does.
Because I think this is a 3-ply.
Yeah.
And it's funny, even if you go from the same fiber, a 3-ply yarn to a 2-ply yarn to a singles yarn, cables look massively, and lace too, look massively different in a very round 3-ply or more 4-ply or cable yarn than they do from a 2-ply yarn than they do from a singles. Singles, everything kind of looks a little bit flat.
Yep.
2-ply yarn, cables don't pop as much, but lace pops a lot in the 2-ply because interestingly the 2-plies kind of push against each other so the lace opens up more.
Interesting.
And 3-ply yarn, the cables really kind of stand up and any kind of texture stands up.
Yep.
It's very interesting how they do these things. It's cool. That's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be really nice. I'm
It's gonna
happy.
be so pretty. Oh, do we have anything else on the needles, or should we move to new in store?
New in store.
New in
That's
store.
all that I have that I brought on my needles. I have a lot more webs, but we showed them over the past few weeks.
Right.
You'll see when I have material progress. This is what I worked on for the past week.
That's material progress. That's
Definitely.
nothing to a stack of stuff. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what we have in store. I'm going to pass these over because they're so pretty. Oh my God, you can't even with the feeling, and
So
they are
soft.
just
Rotate.
stunning.
Sure.
I love this green one.
I know, that's such a pretty
See
green.
this color? It's
Yeah.
so poofy.
So,
Oh.
we should say what these are. These are
These are topped pom-poms,
Yes.
and they are alpaca. So
they're cruelty free.
they're
Right.
cruelty-free, and
Haley
they
was extremely happy.
are like...
No, I think a lot of our
cloud.
I'm
customers
sure
will.
they will.
I think so, too.
Absolutely.
We've had, a lot of requests for pom-poms that,
Yeah.
and, the challenge is always finding something that looks fantastic,
Yes.
right?
I mean, and because we have some really great faux pom-poms that are super fun, and they're super fluffy, and they have beautiful colors, and they kind of look natural or not, but like, these are amazing.
Well, they look like fur pom-poms.
They look
Yeah.
like
So-
fur pom-poms, but they're alpaca
But they're with
fleece,
shorn alpaca.
and you feel them, and you're like, this is like a baby kitten,
It is.
or
It's
like
so soft.
a baby alpaca.
They have nice balance.
And their colors are gorgeous. I know we keep shaking them because they're so fun. Look at this. Look at this. And they have snaps. Some have snaps, some have ties.
The natural
I think they all have
ones-
snaps.
No,
right?
the naturals have ties.
The naturals have ties.
Oh,
Some have
okay.
snaps, some have
I
ties.
thought it was.
But they're fantastic. So for your hats, how cute would this be if you did one of the like a more standy up slouchy hat, and then you had one on each,
Mm-hmm.
like two little pom poms, because then you could just sit there and be like, look at my pom poms. I'm like a cute little fuzzy bunny.
Or the braid thingies.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because then you could really sit there and play with them. Because really, that's my goal. My goal is how do you just sit there and like pet your
They
pom
do
poms.
feel like a bunny.
They really do. Like we can't stop. I have
So
to put
nice.
it down. I have to put it down. So those are from Toft. What else do we have from Toft? You want to show your baby?
He
Oh,
was
yeah.
sitting by
So
me at
cute.
the beginning.
He's sitting.
I love
He's
these.
surprised. So we have the Ed's Animals. Was it Edwards?
Menagerie.
Edwards Menagerie. We have a couple of kits. This one is a bunny. No, I'm sorry. This one is
A sheep.
A sheepy.
A sheep, a sitting sheep. They're so adorable. Yeah.
And each crochet kit contains the yarn,
It's everything you need.
the stuffing, so you don't have to go sit there and find that polyfill that's somewhere in the corner. In my house, it's in the corner. The crochet pattern, a crochet hook, and a wool needle. So this is really everything that you need, 100% everything that you need to make these freaking adorable little animals. So we have the bunny, which is this guy,
That one.
and we have a lion,
So cute.
and we have a little sheepy.
And there's a few more.
There's a
Those are
couple
the
more
ones that I
floating around,
grabbed.
but they're crochet, and they're all suitable for beginners, complete
Like,
beginners,
complete
level 1,
beginners.
like dead, I don't know what I'm doing beginners.
And there are instructions on YouTube for each of these too.
Oh, they have video tutorials?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Learn to crochet video tutorials.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's fantastic. And everything is in your little bag,
Nice
which is
little
also a
pouch.
project bag.
Yeah.
So these are super fun. We saw these at TNNA, and you had your eye out for them anyway. Because
I
you were
had
at
looked at
Edwards
them last
Menagerie,
year.
and
We
I
were
remember
kind
talking
of on the
about
fence about it. Yeah, I'm glad you guys went for it. I
because
like
they're
them a lot.
so cute, and it's like there are some crochet animals that are not as cute, and there's some crochet
These are
animals that are
adorable.
freaking adorable.
These are adorable.
And these are freaking adorable.
Yeah, I could definitely see these inspiring some people to learn crochet.
Yeah.
I am not a huge crocheter, and I would totally make these things because I'm especially not a huge
go.
like fine crocheter, little crocheter, I like big stuff. But these are, I mean, look at his little bum. He has a little, he
So
has a little
cute.
pom-pom.
Oh my goodness.
Completely outsized.
Oh, yeah, and speaking again of pom poms, right?
Speaking of pom-poms, clearly we have a theme.
It's a theme!
Look what we have in store! Yay! Yay! We are now carrying Pom Pom Magazine. So we have...
And we got, these are the back issues, or the
Excuse me.
ones that are already out. So we'll have
Yes.
fall when it comes out
Yep.
shortly.
Yep.
But these are so fantastic.
Yeah.
That
Pom Pom has great patterns.
They do.
Really
It's just-
stylish, fashion forward, not always difficult to make, a wide range of options.
you're going to get sucked in, Kathleen.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
The rest
It's
of the
so the rest of the podcast
Yeah.
will be this. Look at how pretty this is. I want to make this. I want to make this.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, so that
It's
one's
beautiful.
the summer one from this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right? This is spring.
Is that
I
spring?
think this is spring. Yeah, this spring.
Spring.
And then this is last fall, which
Mm-hmm.
I love this
I love this
sweater.
one so much.
Yeah.
That's an Oregon.
Of course it is. Oh, it's the Noragon. She is,
edited this whole issue.
Mm-hmm.
and she is like the queen of cables.
Yes.
Queen.
Yeah.
It's lovely. So if you want to, hop in and check out our back issues currently, and then when the new issue comes out, we are stockists, so we will have them. And sign up for the newsletter, and you will have notification, because when it comes in, we will send that out in that week's newsletter. We also have classes in our newsletter. We have a bunch of summer classes that we've
Yeah,
put
we
on.
just added a bunch of classes.
Okay, so we have, we'll announce when the
classes.
new newsletter, we'll announce when the Pom Pom, the new version of Pom Pom is in the store in our newsletter, and we also have a ton of classes in and up for the summer, and we're going to have more coming in the fall. Currently, I think we have a crochet boot camp, so if you do want to learn how to crochet and you have a week in August, we have 3 classes in 1 week, and that'll like get you in, out, and started with Susan, who we're super excited that Susan is back.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also going to do an evening knitting class
She is. She's doing Knitting 101 on Monday evenings.
on Monday evenings.
Beginning the last Monday of July. So it actually, if you're seeing this the day it goes up, it'll be just a couple of days later. You can still register online
Yeah, so
for
check on shopyarnia.com/classes or /classes /classes.
I'll put a link right there.
She'll put a link and it'll make sense, and you don't have to listen.
You don't
to
have
me
to
say
type
it.
in the
Yeah.
location.
And then Evelyn is going to be doing a bunch of, she's going to do a weekend crochet knitting 101 on Saturdays, but she also has 3 awesome workshops, a sock heels workshop, a brioche workshop, and I'm missing one. Oh, a magic loop workshop.
Ooh,
Right.
So you can learn how to knit with magic loop.
Right. And
Be on
the
her
brioche.
team if you want.
That's right. The brioche workshop is actually an advanced brioche class, so it's for those who already know brioche.
It's fixing mistakes, because
Yeah.
fixing
Wow.
mistakes in
And
brioche.
we've already had a couple of people sign up, even though we've
Fantastic.
just begun
We've
promoting
just
it.
begun,
So,
yeah.
and I'm sure we'll be doing more intro to brioche in the fall as well. We'll definitely
yeah.
bring that back as
Oh
well.
yeah.
But
If you guys have
This is-
any suggestions of classes that you want to see, shoot us a note. Leave a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe down over there. And
you
hit
can
the
also
alarm bell.
email us at hello@shopyarnia.com anytime.
Yep.
We all have access to that.
And follow us on social media. We'll be promoting all of these things, including our summer sale that ends on Wednesday, 7/31, as well as, don't forget, we're looking for a part-timer. You can find us on Ravelry at Shop Yarnia. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. I do this every time and I
Yeah.
forget one.
I've been negligent on the Snapchat recently.
The website, shopyarnia.com. Or you can shoot us a note at hello@shopyarnia.com.
Yeah.
So that is it for this episode.
think
We
so.
will see you in a little bit,
See you in a couple of weeks.
and have a great summer. Bye.
Take care.
Bye. Well, anyway,
It's a test. It's
if
a
you have
trial.
comments on the lighting,
Let us
put them
know.
below, and
Tell
I'll be
us what you
sure.
Look,
to
we're
maybe
half
consider
shadow.
them. All right.